Hi, welcome back to Dr. Sam in this city. I'm here with Emma. We're just chatting.
Good morning.
And I was discussing with you about my Saturday Scold this week, which was on preventing acne scarring and taking action to avoid it at all costs. Because it's basically a dermatological emergency, in my opinion. You know, because it's permanent, right?
Yes, of course, of course. It is hugely important, just because acne is actually pretty easy to treat, whereas acne scarring is much more challenging to treat. So it just makes sense, you know, prevent it from happening, because that's so much easier to do than to actually treat scarring. That's the first thing to tease out. If you have acne scars, you have to work out what type of scars you have, because that's actually really what determines what type of treatment is going to be effective for you.
Absolutely. So I think the distinction I tell patients to make is to look at their skin when cross-lit, because that's the best way to see whether there's actually any irregularity of the surface, because ultimately a scar means that there is an indentation on the surface of the skin.
Yeah, so exactly, that's the sort of true acne scarring that we tend to see. But actually, like we said, lots of people will come with acne scarring that's a different issue altogether. I think even before that, though, as soon as I see anyone that comes for acne scarring, if they've got any active acne, I always say, look, just dampen down the acne first, calm your acne down, and then think about treating the scarring, because otherwise you're just chasing your tail. So I think lots of people will go and have like laser to help with the marks, and they get, you know, they're still getting active spots, and actually they're just wasting their money.
35% of scarring will resolve spontaneously over time once you've gotten the acne under control anyway. So patience, we're advocating patience all the time, but in particular with acne scarring, really is something to do.
It's hard. I think people get really frustrated, and sometimes I spend a lot of time saying, it's early days. And I think people do get frustrated, but actually what you don't want to do is, like you say, go in with procedures that potentially have risks when actually things were going to get better anyway. And the 35%, I wonder if actually that's sort of dipping and things like that, because I think redness, I mean, I'm always amazed when we start off with people and they take photos at the beginning of their acne journey, and then you see them at the end of their acne journey. I'm often amazed how well they've done.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. Assuming the acne's under control and you've been patient, slow and steady wins the race and all that, and you still have some indentations to address, what's your general approach there?
Well, do you remember last year at the conference we went on?
Yeah.
And they were looking at, so as part of our field trips, we go on some conferences to keep our skills up to date. And they were discussing what is the best treatment for acne scarring. And I think it's a little bit unclear actually at the moment. I think it does depend. So superficial scarring, I might do something like microneedling. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great option. I think it's got relatively little downtime. It's well tolerated in all skin types in terms of the risk of pigmentation. It's actually really low. Doesn't photosensitize you, so it can be done all year round. And I think it's a great treatment, especially for those who are sort of acne aging overlap, who actually want to strengthen areas that might be weakening, shall we say. And I think down here oftentimes loss of volume plus acne scarring, and this is a really common sight for adult acne. Really I quite like it as a treatment to sort of get in there, in combination with a good topical program of retinoids and vitamin C.
Microneedling,
I think, restore that area.
Often the simplest way to start, and something if you're not really keen on really invasive treatments, I think it's a good place to start. I think resurfacing, well, laser generally, depending on what you've got. So if you've got really persistent redness, things like pulse dye laser or IPL can be quite helpful. But if it's a contour thing, you've got lots of dips and scars, then resurfacing something like Fraxel or something like that I think is helpful. Yeah,
absolutely. So I think that's kind of the other end of the spectrum. It's definitely more expensive. It can have more downtime depending on the intensity of the Fraxel treatments, because there are different types of Fraxel devices, but I think that would probably be considered the gold standard if you were up for it. But I think it's about careful patient selection and about what you're prepared to sort of put in to get your results.
Yeah. And then if you've just got one or two areas which have left quite deep scarring, then sometimes certain types of surgical techniques, obviously going to someone that's really experienced with acne scarring.
That's so important.
Choosing your practitioner carefully. So certainly you can actually cut some out. You can inject a little bit of something called TCA in there to try and stimulate a little bit of collagen. So various different things just for localized areas. So it really depends, and that's why it's so important to go to someone that's a real sort of expert in acne scarring, so that you can actually pick out what you need to treat. So.
Yes, I think that probably the main conclusion I've kind of come to over the years of treating people with acne is there is no one size fits all approach to acne scarring, and it probably tells us that actually there's still quite a way to go in terms of you know, perfecting our approach to acne scarring, especially in those with skin of colour. But I think those are the kind of the mainstream techniques. In the right hands, they work well. But I really do think the take-home message is what you said. Give it time, be patient. Sometimes I find it's a simple thing of restoring confidence in your complexion, getting texture, tone and brightness back, and reducing the frequency of breakouts. For many people, that is huge kind of progress, and actually the scars don't matter quite so much.
And it's so much easier to cover up. We're not talking about covering up, you know, with huge amounts of makeup, but actually a sort of a very clear complexion rather than a bumpy complexion.
Yeah.
And often people that start off saying to us at the beginning, but what am I going to do about the acne scarring? Actually, by the end of treatment, they're like, actually, I'm pretty happy with things. You know, everyone said how well I look and how good my skin's looking, and they're pretty happy. So
yeah, skin stability ultimately gives peace of mind and freedom and confidence. Good. I think that was useful. Hope you found it useful too. Thanks, Emma. Bye for now.
Bye.